A few months had passed since we first reunited. We had both settled into a routine. Every day we walked to school and back together. Oh! On our way home, I spotted a cat and an idea hit me. Alistair! Alistair! Scooping up the cat, I beckoned him over. Meow! Then, when he got closer, I raised the cat up into his face. Surprise! This was all a test, of course, because I'm evil that way. I wanted to see if he really forgot me or if he was just faking it. Oh. Cat! Yep, it's a cat! Sorry, but cats... Make you uncomfortable? Yeah. Gotcha. Oh. Sorry for laughing. That was rude. I don't blame you. I'm the pathetic loser who's afraid of cats. No, that's not true. Instantly, I was convinced. He still remembered me. Really? Just from that? I don't think you're pathetic at all, Alistair. What? Aha! You're blushing! No, I'm not! Got him. I mean, I don't really know if that proves that he remembers you, though. I mean, he still remembers he doesn't like cats, but I don't know if that proves he remembers you. But you do you, girl. I mean, you were right. That day, Alistair had an appointment at the hospital, so we agreed to go our separate ways home. I took the opportunity to go shopping, browse the bookstore, and enjoy a rare moment of private time alone. Oh. On my way home, however, I spotted a group of girls I recognized from school. Ah, she drives me crazy! You're really mad about it, huh? She's just such an attention whore. Just because she's mixed race or something, she's allowed to have permed hair when the rest of us aren't. And her eyes are creepy. I thought she said it was all natural. She's probably lying about it. And the way she talks is so obnoxious. Yeah, it's definitely pretty weird. I was already aware that these girls resented me for getting a lot of attention. But at this point, I wasn't going to try to reteach myself how to talk. That being said, I figured I could make more of an effort to keep a low profile. But just then, I caught sight of Alistair nearby. Instantly, I was mortified. I could only hope he wouldn't realize they were talking about me. Praying silently, I took the long way home. Okay. Hey, Arisu. What's up? There's something I've been meaning to ask you. Sorry, but I'm not accepting any declarations of love right now. I can't even confess? I mean, no, that's not it! Why do you talk all weird? My stomach lurched, but I hastily played it off with a joke. Sokana? That! Exactly! You keep switching languages! Is it really that weird? Super weird, dude. You agree with me, right, Blondie? I mean, I spent my childhood speaking both languages, you know. Code switching is just easier than trying to commit to one of the two. Besides, it's what makes me unique. Unique? Yep. I nodded, smiling. As we walked home, I suddenly remembered that the fridge was empty. Say, Alice, mind if we stop by the store real quick? Sure, I don't mind. Oh, it's Arisu! Nice to see you again, cutie. Thanks. Is there a cutie discount I can get? Wow, you're so fluent in our language. Okay, so she didn't realize that he realized about the girls' things and stuff. Okay. A few days later, we were meeting up at the school gates like usual. Sorry about that. Were you waiting long? Not really. Out of the blue, Alistair looked me dead in the eye. What? I love your gemstone eyes and soft fluffy hair. It's what makes you, you. Huh? Oh, sorry. Just a random thought I had. Desperately, I blinked back tears. Aww. Okay. My heart clutched at that moment. Thanks. It was the most I could manage to say. No problem. He had noticed how I felt about him, and he truly hadn't changed at all. He was still my prince. Oh, my heart. Mwah. Then one day, as I was doing homework in my room, there came a knock at the door. Now comes the test. Is it cool if I come in? Based on his manner of speech, it sounded like Cinderella. Sure. What you up to? Suddenly, I sensed something off. Just finishing up my homework. Sure is rough being a student. You don't normally do this, do you, Alistair? Actually, I think this is the first time. At this, his eyes widened. Huh? You can tell it's me? Of course I can. It's you, silly. One thing was for certain. No matter which version of him I met, I would always be able to find the real him. After that, life was uneventful for a while. Hey, I finished sweeping the floor. Thanks. Alistair seemed a lot more relaxed around me now. This made me happy, since it sort of felt like we'd gone back to old times. This place used to be a cafe, right? Supposedly. My parents are a little eccentric, so they bought the place and turned it into a summer home. They renovated all the furnishings and stuff, but the rest is intact. Wow. Back when this place was first built, Japan was dipping its toes into Western culture. Women were starting to advocate for themselves, and society started to favor personal freedom. They called it Taisho democracy. I'm learning about it in class. Yep, and it was during the Taisho era that Japan's first cafe was built. Whoa. You know, Arisu, you're a great cook. If this was actually a cafe, you'd probably get a lot of customers. Aw, you think so? That's so sweet. The compliment made my face burn hot. The whole reason I learned how to cook to begin with was to be worthy of my prince. Wait, did you just... I was so distracted by the compliment itself, I nearly missed the most important part. Sorry. I wasn't sure how I'm supposed to address you, so I just kind of picked at random. Sorry if I offended you. No, not at all! Now say it again! What? Say my name! Arisu? What's up, Alistair? Delighted, I called his name in return. So, where did it all go wrong again? After we'd all been living together for about 6 months, my parents decided to go back to the big city. You sure you'll be okay? I'll be fine. If I need anything, I can always ask Ryoshi. I can handle the cooking and cleaning all on my own. And you know I'm on top of my schoolwork, too. Right. I suppose so. Ryoshi, please look after these two. Of course. If anything happens, get in touch. I'll try to come home as fast as I can. Okay. Frankly, I always knew this was going to happen sooner or later. To my parents, work came first, and family came second, if at all. Maybe they looked like upstanding philanthropists to the rest of the world, but as their daughter, I wasn't impressed. Bleh. I'm so unimpressed that our mom never has any lines. She just exists. I think we've seen like one picture of her, and she has had like no dialogue at all. Do we even have a mom? I'm not even sure about that. If your mom doesn't speak, does she really exist? I mean, of course she does, but I'm just like, why does Yurika's mom never say anything? Ever. Not even like one line of like, dear, you know, behave yourself or something. I don't know. Give her a smack on the head once in a while. Anyway. Going off on a tangent. Guess it's just you and me from now on. Yeah. Are you gonna miss them? I was a little nervous. Part of me felt that Alistair needed some parental figures in his life, but this turned out to be a needless worry. I don't know. They're not my parents, so you'll probably miss them more than I do. I'll be fine as long as I've got you. I wanted to believe he needed me as much as I needed him, but how could I make sure of that? Back in my room, I was changing into my PJs, but just then... Arisu, I'm coming in. Alistair walked in on me in my underwear. Ugh. Hastily, he backed out and shut the door. Sorry, I didn't think to ask if you were changing. I could hear him shouting from the other side of the door. He sounded really flustered. My crush had just seen me basically naked. Even I wasn't immune to shame. Thank goodness for that, at least. But I didn't want to let it snowball into a huge awkward moment. So I shot myself in the foot. So I finished changing, then opened the door. Hey, I'm really sorry. Did you see? You saw my naked body, didn't you? Well... He stammered, blushing bright red. Are you going to make it up to me? How? Once he was utterly at a loss for words, I donned a sunny smile. Just kidding. It's okay. No big deal. Oh. Okay. He nodded, looking confused. So, what did you need? I forgot. Are you serious? Man, I'm so dumb. Girl, he was about to, like, ask you out and things and confess stuff, and then... Ooh... It hurts going through this again. Before long, autumn rolled around. By this point, it felt like we'd been together all our lives. Yo, Blondie! Wolf. Morning, Arisu! Good morning. We were now good friends with Wolf. While he may have seemed a little vapid at first glance, he was actually very sharp and observant, so I would always go to him for advice about Alistair. But my favorite thing about him was his ability to read the room. After he learned about Alistair's situation, he positioned himself at the perfect distance so he could help at any time. What's for lunch today? Here you go. Woohoo! Arisu's home cooking is all mine, baby! I remembered you hate onions, so I put in a whole bunch. Ew! Oh, and a nice salad. Come on, Arisu. I'm a growing guy, remember? And growing guys need to eat their veggies. Right, Alistair? I tried to include him in the conversation, but... Huh? Oh. Right. He seemed a little absent-minded today. What's wrong? Oh, nothing. All good. Naturally, my brain jumped to the conclusion it liked most. Was he jealous of my friendship with Wolf? He was. Looking back, perhaps this was proof that I had let my guard down. Hindsight being 20/20 and all that. Then it came time for Wolf and I to head off separately. See you later, Alistair! Yeah. See you. As we parted ways, I saw him waving sadly, and realization struck me. He just wanted to go to the same school as us. But it was too late to close the gap now. Still, I figured I could always cheer him up with a sweet treat, so I decided to make him a little something. Oishii! After a quick taste test, it was ready. Right at that moment, he walked in. Talk about perfect timing.
I smell something sugary.
I just made pudding! But when I looked at him, I gasped.
For me? Why, thank you.
It wasn't him. We got a new one. It was one of the others inside his head.
What? What's with the weird look?
And this was one I hadn't met before. Who are you? I asked purely on impulse. He fixed me with a sickeningly sweet smile. Yes, my favorite boy.
Oh, come now, don't joke around. I'm Gretel, your adorable little brother. How could you possibly forget?
Gretel. Instantly I understood. Gretel was the younger sister of a famous fairy tale protagonist, and I had directly caused this personality to come into being. The music change was like just morphing. Oh, right! Duh. Silly me. Sorry for asking such a stupid question.
It's alright. So, are you going to spoon feed it to me?
Of course! Say ah!
Ah.
How is it?
I'd give it 40 points.
Out of 50, right?
Out of 100, of course.
And so I spoiled Gretel rotten. Why would you do that? Why would you make this person even worse than he already was when he started? Why did you do this? Oh, good grief. This is all your fault, Yuriko. The longer we lived together, the more opportunities I had to get to know his other selves. They were all unique individuals, and the more time I spent with them, the more I came to love them. Not out of pity or charity. I just sincerely fell for all of them. I watched as my beloved slept peacefully beside me. As I stroked his hair, I thought to myself, maybe things could stay like this. Provided they all consented to it, of course. Then at some point I dozed off.
What the? Arisu?
I heard a voice calling in the dark. It was the prince who once guided me through the darkness. When I opened my eyes, I found Alistair in a state of panic, his face red as a tomato.
Why are you in my bed?
Oh, sorry. Last night, Gretel was resting his head in my lap. We must have dozed off.
I'm so sorry.
Then, for some reason, he bolted from the room.
Wait, it's my room. Why should I have to leave? But then again, she had my head in her lap. It wasn't me, though.
I could hear everything he was muttering to himself. Alice?
Ah! What?
Sorry. Did I cross a line? I decided not to comment on what I'd overheard.
No, not really. I wasn't involved, so... What about you, Arisu? You don't have to do that stuff if you don't want to.
I don't mind it, actually.
Oh.
Say, Alice, what do you want to have for breakfast?
Anything's fine.
Yeah? Maybe I'll make Eggs Benedict. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll call you when it's ready.
Thanks.
I smiled, then turned and headed to the kitchen. Once I was out of sight, I stood there and clutched my blushing cheeks. Ow! Ooh, boo! As the happy days flew by, the sparkle slowly began to fade. It was now our second year of college, and Gretel had violently attacked a fellow student. It's nice to get a time period for how long this is happening over. So it's like been a year now. So it's good, because I was wondering like how fast this was all happening. Right. I understand. Thank you very much. Guess what? They said you won't be expelled. I passed along the message from the school board. But Alistair was taking the news really hard. You don't have to feel bad about this, Alistair. It wasn't your fault.
So it was Gretel's fault.
No, I don't think it was his fault either.
God, you always...
I knew what he wanted to say. To be honest, I was fine with him taking it out on me. Frankly, I deserved some of the blame. I'm glad you're cognizant of that at least.
Shouldn't you be at school, Arisu?
No, it's okay.
How come?
Well, this time I was the one to hold my tongue. You're not even gonna admit in your inner thoughts what you did, girl? Girl? Like anyone, I had secrets of my own. Secrets nobody knew about. Oh, God. You jumped for... I didn't think that's where you were going with this. No. I thought you were going to talk about how you threw the chair out of the school to get yourself expelled so you'd be home with him. Not this. I didn't think you were going to jump straight to this. I wasn't emotionally prepared for any of it. Oh, why do I have to relive this trauma like 3 times? It's like at least 3 times. Might be 4 times now. Oh, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna hold my own hand here. Like the fact that I was cheating on Alistair with one of his personalities. Though he didn't have a name, he was my strongest piece. And I took full advantage, like the psychopath I am. Poor Alistair.
Who was it? Gretel? No, it wasn't him. He only thinks of her as a sister. Then was it Kaguya? Or Cinderella? Who the hell did she... Are you all in love with her? Is that why you slept with her? And she's not innocent in this either. Why the hell would she do that? Is she... in love with all of you, too?
Alice? Are you okay? Are you feeling sick?
Arisu. I'm fine.
You sure? The cat was out of the bag, and his existence was revealed. Oh! Interesting! Wait, what? But while Alistair seemed to think I'd had sex with him, my cheating was only ever emotional, not physical. Huh? I'm sorry. Huh? Okay. So I'm going like, I'm replaying everything that I've heard up to this point, where I thought it was pretty clear that Alice, holy, Eureka and the wizard had sex. But that is not true?
But do I believe Eureka as the unreliable narrator? But is it only Dream Eureka that's the unreliable narrator, or is real life Eureka also an unreliable narrator? At the same time, the wizard did say he tried to have his way with her as Alistair, and she rejected him in the final route. But before that, in his route, he's like, oh, we've had sex plenty of times. And she was like, I gave him my first. Your first what? Was it just a kiss? But she said it wasn't physical cheating. Does a kiss count as physical cheating? I would count it personally as physical cheating. I don't... I'm a mess. I can't believe I'm going through this series of events for like the 4th time, possibly. And it just blew my mind again. And I've got a lot of conflicting emotions happening in my stomach right now, and I just don't know... I don't know what to say. I'm just not gonna think about it right now. You know what? I'm just gonna keep going. And I'll chew on this later. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stick a pin in it, and I'm gonna come back to it later. After that, Alistair started openly avoiding me. But why was the bed wet? And, like, he washed his... Was the wizard just, like, humping against her all night? Like, what happened? What happened? Alistair, my boy.
Hey, Alice?
What? Sorry, but I've got an errand to run. Mind if I head out?
Oh, sure.
This was my punishment. It's a pretty mild punishment, honestly. I think you deserve more punishment for not only what you put everybody, all the boys inside Alistair through, Alistair included, but myself. I think you need to, like... I don't know. I need some kind of retribution. This girl's done me a number. Oh. Well. I'm still... Pen is in the thought, and I'm going to come back to it later. Though my relationship with Alistair was rocky, I got along with the others just fine. Hooray. Still, things were slowly starting to unravel. Ah yes, the walk through the woods. So, where do we go from here?
I don't know, but it'll work out. I'm going to keep you safe.
Sister...
Gretel had committed another violent offense, and this time it was even more heinous. I was terrified they'd take him away from me, so instead I led him by the hand into the dark forest. Gretel? Just then he came to a stop.
Arisu? Why am I...
He looked at me and recoiled.
How did you get those wounds?
Well...
Gah!
What's wrong? Are you okay?
Ah!
Then he saw his own bloodied fists and started screaming.
Why? Blood?
Alistair! Calm down!
Oh! Oh! Oh God, did I?
No! You didn't do anything, Alistair! Please, believe me!
So it was one of the others. Was it Gretel? Or someone else? Kaguya?
No, it wasn't!
I can't take this anymore. I'm sick of this!
Alistair! His mental state was in tatters, and it was all my fault. A few days later, my brother came down on me for everything I'd done. Good! Ryoshi, you're my hero. Then he took over all of Alistair's mental wellness support. Good. Alistair, welcome home.
Arisu.
What's wrong?
Sorry. I need to be alone for a while.
Alistair, what was I supposed to have done? Not cheated on him with his other personalities. Maybe? Maybe? How about that, girl? How about that? Oh, crap. Oh, it's one thing if you, like, talk to all of them and you all, like, agreed to it. That's one thing. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. But that did not happen. You did this to yourself. Oh! Just then, I heard him screaming and came running. What's wrong?
Arisu.
You're hurt. We'd better patch you up. Shards of glass littered the floor. He had punched the mirror.
Arisu. Who am I?
What?
Just now, in the mirror, I saw someone who wasn't me. It was me at first, but the next thing I knew, it turned into someone else. The mirror didn't reflect my face. It was showing someone who looked nothing like me. Then the person looked at me and told me they loved you. And that was when I realized. This other person probably wants me to leave. Then after I'm gone, they're going to take over my happy life with you. I'm scared. Really scared. Someone who isn't me lives inside me, using my body, pretending to be me. And when I'm in control, they spy on me from the darkness. Arisu, am I really me? Because I'm not sure I am. I mean, think about it. How can anyone prove whether the person you're talking to right now is really me? Maybe the real me is the one who isn't me at all.
I'll always be on your side. And I'll always believe in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. Because I love you. I'll always love you, no matter which you it is. I love you from the bottom of my heart.
Arisu, I'm sorry. I can't tell if you're actually talking to me or not. I can't even be sure that you love me.
That's all right. I wrapped my arms around him.
Huh?
I don't mind if you reject my love. As long as you heal, that's all I care about. Because it doesn't change the fact that you're my prince. That night, I finally let myself cry for the first time in a long time. It's always nice when you can have a good cry. My whimpers echoed through the darkness. It was like I'd gone back in time to that summer night when I was 9. That rhymed. Sometime later. Interesting. I was hoping we were going to get a little bit more with that crying scene, but not really.
Arisu.
What is it, Alistair? That morning he called out to me.
It's nothing.
Then he smiled. He seemed so normal. That should have been your first clue. Then he took his lunch bag and headed off to college, just like usual. Bye, Alice. See you after school, okay? Meanwhile, I didn't suspect a thing. You fool. Like an idiot. I went to class like nothing was wrong. What the... Ryoshi? Then, between classes, I checked my phone and found a voicemail from my brother. It felt like a bad omen, so I decided to listen to it ASAP. In actuality, however, it was worse than I could have possibly imagined. I dashed off campus and ran all the way to the ER. There I found Ryoshi waiting for me.
He OD'd. Overdosed, I mean. I'm told he downed a whole bottle of sleeping pills.
Why would he do that?
He was trying to kill himself. Someone spotted him unconscious on the lakeshore while they were passing by. They already pumped his stomach, so he's not in danger. Right now he's sleeping, but he'll probably wake up tomorrow.
He in fact did not wake up tomorrow. But tomorrow rolled around and he was still asleep. Why can't he wake up?
We don't know. We ran a bunch of tests, but they all came back normal. Sleep is an unconscious state in which the human body has a reduced response to external stimuli until woken. However, in his case, no amount of external stimuli has woken him.
So he's in a coma?
Something like that. But to be clear, he's not in a total vegetative state. His body responds to pain and other stimuli through changes in expression or reflexive movements. Basically, he's not in a wakeful state, but he's still...
Just get to the point already.
When we scanned his brain, we found that his body is sleeping, while his brain itself is active. In other words, he's dreaming.
Dreaming? So what's your hypothesis? Why can't he wake up?
I'm not a neurologist, so I'm not well versed in consciousness disorders. But if there's nothing wrong with him physically, then there must be something wrong mentally. Long story short, he's actively refusing to wake up.
Is that even possible?
Beats me. But he clearly must have wanted an escape from reality if he was ready to take his own life. Normally, the human brain doesn't perceive a dream to be a dream until after it ends. So if he's dreaming right now, then to him, that dream is real life.
Will he ever wake up?
He'll be fine. You know what they say. All good dreams must come to an end.
I mean, his body's perfectly fine. He might hop out of bed tomorrow for all we know.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Is there anything I can do for him?
Talk to him every day. Touch him. Play music for him. Any kind of stimulus would help.
And so, as instructed, I spoke to him as he slept. Can you hear me? Can you hear my voice? Why? Please, wake up! Alistair!
Good job. You broke the heart of the other guy you were cheating with, whatever.
I spent many a sleepless night trying to think of a way to wake him.
Come on, don't beat yourself up over it. I know how you feel, but at this rate, you're gonna pass out yourself. Blondie's gonna be fine. He's gonna wake up someday, I guarantee it.
I think my brother's wrong. Alistair wasn't trying to kill himself. I mean, yes, he had a lot of anxiety about his life and the world around him, but I don't think he would choose to die. I kept wondering what he had almost said to me that fateful morning.
So what's your hypothesis, Arisu?
I don't know what he was hoping to achieve, but I think he wanted to go be with the others in his dreams. I've been thinking about this for a long time. About how to heal my prince.
So what's your plan?
I'm going to put myself inside him.
What do you mean?
He has dissociative identity disorder with 7 different personalities. So I'm going to create an 8th personality, Eureka Arisu.
Okay, but how?
Right now, he's dreaming. I read that in most cases, The people and places that appear in your dreams are taken wholesale from your past. In response to internal and external stimuli, and the emotional response caused thereof, memories are replayed from mental storage, and our brains invent a narrative to go along with it. So if his dream is influenced by external stimuli, that means I can manipulate it. Fortunately, he has memories of me, so I think that'll improve my chances compared to starting from scratch. I'll put Yurika Arisa into his dream, manipulate it from the outside, and save my prince.
But what if you screw up? I know it's just a dream, but dreams are pretty dang hard to control last I checked.
Oh, I've got a backup plan, and I know someone who can help me.
Gotcha.
You're not gonna stop me.
Nah, I'm not a doctor.
Thanks, Wolf.
So, what do you need me to do?
Yeah, what do you need Wolf to do? Play interference with Ryoshi for many days? Take him on a hunting trip? With Wolf's help, I snuck into the hospital at night. Okay.
Can you hear me? My beloved was sleeping peacefully on the bed beside me. Can you hear my voice? I have a favor to ask. Something only you can do. I clasped his hand in mine. Let's play pretend! I'll be the Ohime-sama, and you'll be the Mahotsukai. Sorry it's not the lead role, but it's still a really important part to play. I've already picked a setting, too. It's set in the Looking Glass world where everything is topsy-turvy. Amid a colorful cast of gender-flipped fairy tale characters, I'll take on the role of the heroine and join them in their twisted tales. How will the story end? It's up to me. Since there's no script, even I don't know what will happen. But I know what I want the ending to look like, and that's all that matters. You see, I really love happy endings. But you knew that, didn't you? You see, the wizard has a very important role. Sometimes an ally, sometimes an enemy. The bearer of great and mysterious power. And when I mess up, I want you to kill me. The story can only have one heroine. Otherwise, it'll veer off track. Piece of cake for a guy like you, right? After all, you're my strongest piece. I thought I knew everything about him and the people living in his head.
But I was arrogant.
They may have looked stable, but they all carried deep trauma that could trigger at a moment's notice. They all needed help, but they were chained down by their pasts, and they were suffering. I wanted to make them happy. So for now, please, listen to the fairy tales I'm about to tell you. If I can't heal you, then perhaps a more wholeheartedly devoted princess can. She'll make sure you all live happily ever after.
The love gift of a fairy tale. Okay, but why did it have to be at night? Save your prince. Take your marks. Fiend. Fiend? Really? We finnin over here, eh? Huh. This is a fairy tale about Save Your Prince. Finish reading the other side of the story and finish reading all the stories. Wow. That was interesting. It was neat to get things from real world Yurika's crazy perspective. Okay, so she was manipulating his dream with external stimuli, but how did she do that? I'm still like, I guess it's just like, there's no, you don't need like the nitty-gritty detailed ways and how she influenced the dream. It's just like she did it through external stimuli. I don't know why she had to go after visiting hours for that, but
maybe there's some kind of in-world reason for that, but good on you, girl, I guess. Good job, Wolf, helping her break it. The thing that blew my mind the most about this entire story is the fact that her and the wizard did not sleep together. Why is that, like, the one thing I'm taking away from this? I'm just like... I am still processing that and trying to come to terms with it. It shouldn't be, like, this big a thing that I'm coming to terms with, but I am. Whew. That's a spicy meatball. Tell me in the comments if that was as big a shock to you as it was to me, and... what? I need other people to share my pain, please. Good grief. Anyway, we're done. I think that's it, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this topsy-turvy game. We did it. We did everything. Whew, I really need to just decompress and recenter myself. So I'm gonna go do that real quick. Now that we're done all the stories, I will be working on my final thoughts video. Before we get to my final thoughts, though, I am going to attempt to do a cover of the opening and ending songs for Taisho Alice as well, so hopefully I can get that done in the next couple of days. Wish me luck. And then we'll get to our final thoughts stuff before moving on to our future adventures. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks once again for joining me. Until next time, I will see you later.